Hey guys, so here's a quick look around our Canvas page. I know by now most of you are familiar with Canvas to some extent, but all Canvas pages are different and each instructor has a really different way of approaching Canvas. So here's what I did. The main page here is just for your information about the class, just a way of like a doormat, like getting started. Down at the bottom of the page is my personal information. If for some reason your Canvas ever goes out and you can't reach me through Canvas, here's my email from the college, so feel free to email me there. My Canvas inbox, by the way, goes directly to my college email, so it's all connected, and I'll see it whether you email me here or here. It's basically the same email. And then down at the bottom, I also mentioned that we are using Pronto. So Pronto is a messaging app, and it is available on your Canvas page. It is down here at the bottom. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. I am only seeing part of my page, so let me adjust my screen. Yeah. So Pronto is down here. There it is, down here at the bottom. And you'll see that there it is. Okay, Pronto is way down here at the bottom left corner. However, you can also download the app to your phone, and if you register using your GCC email, your Canvas classes will load up and you'll see that you have a group chat that's associated with our class. So I highly recommend getting the app for your phone. That way, if you ever have questions about an assignment, or you can see people's questions, other people's questions, which might be helpful to you as well. So do that, or you can just go here and you'll see the same messages. Alrighty, and then over here, let's take a look at the rest of our Canvas page. So I'm going to jump back into Student View so you can see your version. My version has more features, but your version is simpler. So at the top of the page, you have your Glendale Zoom links. If you click on Glendale Zoom, you'll see all of our links to our classes for the entire semester. And you'll know whenever we have a class, there it is, there's a link. You'll see the join button as it gets closer to the day. And then you can join the meeting. All right, one other feature to know about the Glendale Zoom app is that at the top of the page here, you can see our class recordings. So I usually record each class just for your records. And if you happen to miss a class, or if you wanted to go back and review something, you can click on Cloud Recordings and you'll see all of our classes here. You can listen to the audio or you can watch the video, and hopefully that's helpful to you, especially as we get toward the more complicated assignments and you might want to just review here and there. Okay, and then you have a few other links here. Let's take a look at the syllabus. What is a syllabus? The syllabus really just gives you the rules of the class, and it talks to you a little bit about how the class is laid out and what the logic of the class is. So it's really important always to read the syllabus so that you know what the instructor is thinking, and you also know what to expect. So the syllabus is helpful also just for basic rules so you don't miss anything. So please read the syllabus and make sure you understand everything here. If you don't, then of course ask me and we can talk about it. Down at the bottom of your syllabus page, you'll see your assignments as they're given in order. So this is another way just of keeping track of all of the assignments that start to appear. Okay, and then the main part of the class that you really want to be mindful of, excuse me, is the modules. So let's take a look at the modules. What are modules? So modules are just the organization of your class information. So what I did is I made modules week by week. So for every week of our class, I will label it week 1, week 2, and so on. You'll always know what to read for that week and what's due by the end of that week. So I like to break it up that way so that we don't kind of get confused about what's due, in the future. Sometimes I'll have an assignment in a module and it's due in 3 weeks. So I'll always put it here so you know that it's coming. And then in the next week's module, I'll move it to that week. So the assignment will just keep moving with you until it's due. So once you get the hang of it, I think it'll make sense. And so here you can see weeks 1 and 2. I haven't published all of the modules yet because I don't want to overwhelm you with information. So I'm just going to go week by week, and hopefully that's somewhat helpful. Okay, when you look at each of the module units, I'll put when it's due at the top of the page, and then within each module there might be a few different assignments. So it's really important that you read through from the top to the bottom. Whenever you see the globe icon, that means it's a discussion post and everybody can see it. Whenever you see a book, that means it's a reading assignment. Whenever you see the little camera, that means it's a video. And then whenever you see that little star, that's a quiz. So I just have these little emoji icons that hopefully will get you into the habit of recognizing what kind of page that is. A writing assignment has a little writing hand, so it looks kind of goofy, but I think it'll help eventually just to know where all your assignments are. Okay, you can also take a look at all your assignments by clicking on assignments, and you'll see what's upcoming and you'll see what is past. And so that's just another way to quickly find an assignment that you want to go back to. You can also take a look at your grades. So all the assignments will appear here with this possible score and then the score that you receive. If I haven't graded an assignment yet, you won't see a score at that time and it'll just be blank. Once all your scores have been updated, then down here at the bottom where it says total, that will be your grade for that particular time. So your grade will change throughout the semester depending on how you're doing, but keep an eye on it. And if you ever want me to explain something, or if you see that maybe there's something that I forgot to grade, or that's not appearing on this list, please talk to me and we'll figure it out. Finally, just a couple more things down here at the bottom of the page. I have announcements, and it's just a place where I can communicate with the class when I have just a general message or a change in an assignment, or if I'm going to be absent from a class or anything like that. So take a look at the assignments every now and then. The announcements, and just make sure that you're up to date on those. Another way to get to some of the assignments is if you want to look at the discussions. You can see the discussion assignments in one place. Notice they all have the globe, so that means that it's a class discussion and everyone can see what you post there. And then finally, there's a link to people, which will show you the names of the people in our class. It's a good way if you're working like on a small group project, or if you need to contact someone in the class for some reason, you can just click on their name and you can email them pretty easily. All right, so that's pretty much it. Other than that, you have the global menu bar over here. You can go to your account. You can add a photo or your avatar, and that's nice to be able to adjust your settings as far as how many messages you'd like to receive from Canvas. So take a look at that. And then you also have a calendar, which is helpful. So if you click on calendar, you should be able to see all of your assignments through Canvas in one place. And this is just another way to keep track of information. On this page, for example, you have first day of Zoom, video check-in. So you can also click on these links and it'll take you to the assignments. All right, well, that should do it for now. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.